Mr. Fasino, North Macedonia has been a candidate country since 2005, and since 2009 it has been receiving recommendations for starting negotiations with the EU. It has been blocked by Greece for more than a decade over the name dispute, and now faces a new blockade from Bulgaria. How do you estimate the situation with Bulgarian veto on EU integration of the Republic of North Macedonia and ongoing dialogue between the two sides for its withdrawal?
First of all, I believe that the European integration of the Western Balkans is a strategic choice which is in the interest both of the Balkans and of Europe. We know that in the Balkans between 91 and 95 there was a tragic and brutal war, a bloody war, and Srebrenica has become its symbol. At the end of that war, the international community said to the countries participating in the war that their stability, their security would be ensured by integration, their integration in Euro-Atlantic institutions, so in the European Union and in NATO. As to the European Union, that commitment has been reaffirmed and officially reaffirmed in 2003 with the European Council of Thessaloniki. Since the Dayton Agreement in 1995, 27 years have elapsed. Since the European Council of Thessaloniki, 19 years have elapsed. That's a very long time, a very long time span, which cannot justify the behavior of the European Union. I remember that the enlargement to Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, and to the Czech Republic was decided in 2004, 15 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall. But now we are 27 years after Dayton, 20 years since Thessaloniki, and the process is still ongoing, and we don't know when it will be ended. I believe that we cannot accept such a slow pace. The European Union has to change its pace. We need to speed up negotiations for EU accession of the Western Balkan countries and going to North Macedonia. It's necessary to convene an intergovernmental conference to start negotiations for EU accession of North Macedonia over the next few months. The veto from Bulgaria has to be lifted. I believe that we cannot accept that a EU member state can impose a veto on accession by other countries. This is a blatant violation of the functioning rules of the European Union. Over the last few months, there have been some talks between the new Bulgarian Prime Minister and the Prime Minister of North Macedonia. And I do hope that these talks can bring to an agreement very quickly so that the Bulgarian veto can be lifted, and the European Union has to do its best to facilitate the positive outcome of these talks and to overcome the Bulgarian veto. We need to start negotiations for North Macedonia and Albania. We need to speed up the ongoing negotiations with Montenegro and Serbia. And we do need a European perspective to offer to Kosovo and Bosnia and Herzegovina. To do all this, the European Union has to speed up its pace. it has to act more rapidly, more quickly.
Okay, the Russian-Ukrainian crisis, which entered the second month, has confirmed that the EU enlargement process is not just political, but also a security question. How it will affect the EU's role in the region?
Yes, indeed. This war is urging the European Union to address its own security. For 80 years, we have lived in peace, and we have got used to living in peace. And in such peaceful living conditions, we thought no war would ever break up in Europe, while we do have a war in the heart of Europe. And in front of the possible risks and all the risks connected to a war, we need to give a security and defense system to the European Union, not to wage a war, but to be able to resist anyone wishing to wage a war against Europe. So this is an urgent topic to be addressed. And a few days ago, the European Council adopted the first guidelines of the strategic compass, a strategy for European security, a strategy including a European security system working alongside the system of NATO, complementing the NATO system. We have to adjust the pace. The European Union now has a stronger foreign policy and a security policy which has to be clear enough to protect Europe against any possible war risks.
Will the EU integration process for the Western Balkans, especially North Macedonia, be accelerated or slowed down after Ukrainians' request for fast-tracked accession to the Union?
I believe that the application from Ukraine, Georgia, and Moldova to become candidate countries for EU accession has to imply an acceleration of negotiations with the Western Balkans. The Western Balkans are more advanced, at a more advanced stage, because two countries, Serbia and Montenegro, are already negotiating. North Macedonia and Albania are about to open negotiations. So, for the time being, they are more advanced than Ukraine, Georgia, and Moldova, who have applied to become candidate countries. It's also for this that the European Union has to speed up and have a faster pace. I believe that it is a very bad thing. It's a pity that 20 years have elapsed with no enlargement process so as to include the Western Balkans. And no one can tell Ukraine that they will have to wait for 20 years. So we have to accelerate negotiations for the Western Balkans integration and to an acceleration also of the recognition of candidate countries for Ukraine, Georgia, and Moldova. So two parallel processes going together.
Okay. Does this mean that this crisis will contribute to a faster lifting of the Bulgarian veto for North Macedonia? Will it contribute to a faster lifting of this veto?
I do hope so. I hope that the Bulgarian leadership is aware of the fact that in light of the war in Ukraine, which is very close to Bulgaria, precisely this crisis, this conflict, this war, makes it necessary for the European Union to be more cohesive, coherent, and stronger. And such a stronger Europe has to include Western Balkan countries all the more so in light of this Russian-Ukrainian crisis. We all must be aware of the need to accelerate EU-European integration of the Western Balkans. Europe, the European Union, is a security guarantee for all the countries, for those already member states, for those who are already members of the European Union, but also for those wishing to join the European family, like the Western Balkan countries, and also for those countries like Ukraine and Moldova, which are subject to a very strong pressure from Russia, which is challenging their own sovereignty and their own independence. It's not by chance that President Zelensky has combined neutrality of Ukraine with the application for EU membership, because Ukraine can become and declare itself neutral, but nevertheless it wants a security umbrella on its head, and this can be provided by the European Union. So Bulgaria has to understand that in such a difficult and tragic context, within such a tragic situation, veto cannot continue.
Mr. Fasino, polls in our country confirm that here is a great disappointment and frustration with the delay in accession negotiations with the EU, especially after a series of EC recommendations for the start of negotiations. How to oppose euroscepticism in the country and prevent young people from leaving?
This question confirms what I've already said. The slow pace with which the European Union has been conducting and managing its relations with the Western Balkan countries over the last 20 years has produced three negative consequences. First, the public opinion in the Western Balkans has become more frustrated. They had an expectation to join Europe, to join the European Union. And the citizens of those countries consider themselves European citizens. But they see that the doors of the European Union are opened very slowly. So first negative consequence, frustration in the public opinion. Second consequence, the slow pace of the European Union also creates room for other players in the region, room for Russia, Turkey, China, the United Arab Emirates. So, by so doing, the European Union risks to give this region to other players, and this would be a very negative consequence. Third consequence, the candidate countries like North Macedonia, Albania, Montenegro, and Serbia have to carry out and implement reforms to adjust their domestic standards to those of the European Union. But these countries see that the European Union is very slow, and they naturally would tend to slow down also the pace of their reform processes. And this would in turn slow down the integration process. So it's crystal clear that time passes by and this would not solve problems. But the contrary, it would make problems even more serious. So we need to change the pace of the European Union. We have to accelerate, speed up. And this is not just my personal position, this is the position of my country, of Italy, of the Italian government, of the Italian Parliament. So Italy has been asking the European Union for a dramatic change in the space in the pace of the process of integration for Western Balkan countries. Too much time has elapsed. We need to provide quick answers in the short term for the stability and security of those countries and of Europe as a whole. NATO was prepared. Albania, North Macedonia, and Montenegro are already NATO member states, so there's no reason for the European Union to be slower than NATO. So we have to stand up for a different approach from the European Union so that we can bring to an end this process of enlargement so as to include the Western Balkans. All the more so when Ukraine, Georgia, and Moldova have submitted their applications for EU integration. So we need a quantum leap, and this is the position of all political forces in Italy in Parliament. So both the ruling parties and the opposition parties. And we've been working for a very long time in the Foreign Affairs Committee and with the Foreign Affairs Committees of the Western Balkan countries. I personally have regular contacts with my opposite numbers in the Foreign Affairs Committees of the Western Balkan countries, because we are working on the possibility to accelerate negotiations and to accelerate the action of the European Union so that we can have a positive outcome of this process.
Mr. Fasino, you are the President of Monitoring Committee of the Honoring of Obligations and Commitments by Member States of the Council of Europe. Can I ask you just for a short comment, how do you assess the situation with the Macedonian minority in Bulgaria and unfulfilled obligations regarding 16 judgments of the European Court of Human Rights on the Bulgarian side?
Sì, il Consiglio d'Europa.
Yes, the Council of Europe has started a monitoring process so as to check the implementation stage of the judgments of the European Court of Justice in Bulgaria. We have adopted, the Council of Europe has adopted a resolution, and we are in the middle of post-monitoring activities so as to check the implementation of the recommendations contained in the resolution of the Council of Europe. So the Council of Europe is committed to verifying, to checking the compliance of Bulgaria and of all other member states with the judgments of the institutions of the Council of Europe.
Okay, Mr. Fasino, thank you for your interview.
Sono io che ringrazio lei.
And we are
Let
expecting you
me
here.
thank you for this and hope to see you in Macedonia in June.
I hope so, also. Have a nice day.
Buona serata a lei.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening.